Sitting here with my Zola Mod Pangea 3x5 gaming table, and Zola Mod just launched a Game Pound campaign, so these tables have been really popular, and now's a chance to get back in and get one for yourself. But I want to go over 4 things about these tables that going into when I received mine, I wasn't expecting to like these elements as much as that I did ending up like them. The first thing is they have these table toppers that you can place on it. They're like these panels that completely cover the table and make it they kind of advertise it as like a dining table, so you could cover up your game and then still use it as a dining table, and that's awesome. You can do that. But one thing that I actually use that a lot for is kind of like here. I have this game set up, and if I was learning it, or maybe I was playing a campaign, but then I also had a game night where we're going to play something else. I love that I can cover this up and still have a great flat surface to play another game on top of. I can just cover it up, not have to worry about tearing it all down, and play something else on top. So that's been a great other use for the trays that they have that cover up this table. And to go along with the table topper, the second thing is the covers have a divider, so you can actually partially cover the table and then have a smaller space. And this is kind of hard to describe why I enjoy this so much or why I appreciate it, but I think when I have a smaller game and maybe we're only having 2 or 3 of us playing a game at a time, I like the space to be more compact. It just feels less chaotic and less messy, and you can feel more focused around the game. Something about it just makes this experience a little more enjoyable than having kind of a mess spread out your whole table when it doesn't need to use that much space. The third thing are all the components you can put on the table. You can see it has these magnetic rails for all the different components, like this cup holder that I do use all the time. But I didn't realize how much I'd be using the component holders for like game chits. So I'll have a bunch of these at a time, and I'll put the resources like your player cubes, your player resources, your chits in these. Instead of having little piles on the table, I'll just have a bunch of these trays all around the game board, and it just makes it feel a lot more organized and less chaotic. The last thing I'm talking about is how modular these tables are. On the front end, that's cool because you can pick all these different options, but another use for that is, for example, I've got these taller table legs that I'm going to try that go on this table that actually raise it 6 inches, so it's counter height. And that's cool that the modularity of this table allows you to, like, after the fact, adjust your table. Or if you had like a smaller table, you could buy the pieces to make it a larger table. But that's just really cool how many options there are for these tables with the modularity. But yeah, that's just 4 things that I thought were really cool about the tables that you may not have known about. But now's a great chance to go back and back the Game Pound campaign. It's a great mid-range spot that's still affordable. So yeah, run check that out. Their Game Pound campaign, that's the Zola Mod tables.